Hi, Shabbat Shalom everyone. We are in Parshat Chukat. This Shabbat, we're already in the middle of Sefer Bamidbar. What a beautiful place to be. Then beautiful dome to show over some amazing words within regards to the Parsha in of itself. Now, one thing we can discover, we learn very much about, are three presents that God gave the children of Israel while they were wandering in the wilderness for the 40 years. Now, what it was heavenly bread, the clouds of glory, and one thing most outstanding was the Be'er Miriam, or the well of Miriam, it is popularly known as, which was a breath of fresh air and what was needed inside, obviously 40 years to accompany us all throughout that specific period in time. Now the question is that once Miriam Hanaviyah, Miriam the prophetess, she would pass away, this miraculous well would, let's say, which was accompanying them for the 40 years in the travels, would dry up. Now the question is, why did the well, which had been such a steady source of life, giving water, let's say, disappear at that specific moment? Why all of a sudden? So famous commentator Kli Yakar actually quotes from Bamidbar in chapter number 20, explains it was due to the fact that the Klal Yisrael did not give Miriam a proper hesped, a proper eulogy at that point in time. Which they fell short with regards to it. An expression of appreciation, they fell short, despite her being incredibly righteous. And the many blessings she would actually bring them all throughout the time period when they were in the wilderness with all these well springs. Her greatness was taken for granted, which is a problem. This teaches us a vital lesson. We must appreciate the tzaddikim, the righteous people, and Torah leaders of our generation. Their merit upholds the world. Now we actually learn in Midrash Rabbah, I believe, in 68, chapter 68, in Bereshit Rabbah, actually to be precise, it tells us just that living in the same city as various different tzaddikim, righteous people, the bracha it brings is absolutely amazing. It has a huge influence. Now the Gemara, I think in Moed Katan actually recites over in page 25, it teaches us that the tzaddikim's presence brings a protection, a shmirah to the world. In the daily blessing we say of Allah tzaddikim, we specifically say that, we say place our portion among them. That's what it says there, because being connected to Torah leaders gives us spiritual strength and guidance. They help us to navigate all the challenges of the generation, respond to halachic questions, illuminate the path towards proper place that we need to go through. And this meaningful expression is that Torah leaders, they also daven for Am Yisrael, for our goodness. And so many other stories, well-known, documented stories, have been chronicled over from the greatness of the tzaddikim. I actually was reading some stories last night myself on Chacham Ovadia Yosef, the powerful blessings he gave to so many different people, the Shurei Torah, and how he inspired so many people. But another interesting story is actually pointed out over here. There's an expression of our Torah leaders to daven for our well-being. This story is illustrated from a Rosh Hashiva, I think in his later years, experienced, let's say, a declining health, unfortunately. One of his grandchildren approached another great rabbi, Rabbi Shach, one of the famous rabbis of his time, and asked if he would daven for him. Rav Shach not only agreed to this, but immediately recited the name without hesitation, using both the first and mother's name correctly. The grandson was so surprised and asked, "How did you remember this so clearly?" So Rav Shach, the Gadol, he explained that years earlier, when he first met this specific great rabbi, he was deeply moved by his greatness in Torah and by the leadership he provided for the Jewish people. From that moment on, Rav Shach included him in all his tefillot daily, despite the fact that they lived far apart and had only met briefly. His appreciation had left such an impression that it translated into years of heartfelt tefillah. That is the power of recognizing greatness in people. We need to act on it. We see someone needs our tefillah, we help them. We see someone needs salvation, we help them, we pray for them. Even if someone falls short of things, we help them, we daven for them. We pray for their recovery. And that's the greatness of the Gadol. And that was really the greatness of Miriam Hanaviyah. And this generation, for 40 years, got abundance blessings in her zechut, in her merit. So that's very, very interesting. I want to wish you all a fantastic Shabbat. It's only a few days away. And blessings here from Israel. And enjoy. Have a great day, everyone, here from sunny Jerusalem.